let's talk about that in genetics, because you talk about technology, and a lot of people are thinking, well, what technology is he talking about? You know, to the untrained athlete, to someone who's never actually tried to put on muscle, a lot of people think all you got to do is get the right steroids and you're Mr. Olympia. So can you explain that? Is that thinking correct? Is it incorrect? And how do the enhancements work, the supplements work when it comes to steroids?
The enhancements only going to work as good as, you know, your genetics are. I mean, you look at some of them baseball players and some of the guys play football or whatever and hockey, and anybody else that, you know, tried using steroids, and they're not, you know, like bodybuilders. They're not step on the stage type guys, you know, but because they don't have the right genetics. You got to have the right genetics to be able to compete in this sport too. You know, it's not all about steroids. You got to be able to, your body got to be able to take in a certain amount of calories and all that kind of stuff. You got to have the right training techniques. I mean, everything comes into play for the most part. When I say technology, that's what I'm talking about. You know, different training techniques, different diet techniques, different nutrition programs and stuff like that. You know, so it's not all about the steroids. It's all about mostly work ethic. Genetics is at the top of the list, though. So if you don't have that, you forget it. If you don't have the right genetics, you know, it's never going to happen. It's just like me going out and trying to be a professional basketball player, baseball player or something. You know, I don't have the right genetics for that. I'll never make it in either one of those sports, no matter how hard I try. If you're not genetically gifted in that kind of way, it's never going to happen. So bodybuilding is the same. You know, if you're not genetically gifted and being, you know, a bodybuilder, then it's just never going to happen. No matter how many steroids you take or train, what type of training you do.
And if you look at like a Mr. Olympia on the stage, I mean, if you roughly had to say what percentage of that is the steroids versus the genetics and the training and the work ethic and all that, is it 10%? Is it 20%? Is it 30%? What would you say?
I'll say it's probably like 10, 20% maybe, somewhere in there. But not a high percentage.
Okay.
None whatsoever. Because like I said, if you take the same steroids and gave it to another guy, you know, it wouldn't happen unless he was, you know, gifted for it, you know. So it's all about being genetically gifted more than anything. It's not all about the steroids, because like I said, if that was the case, you know, you would have more bodybuilders out there. But from the looks of things, there's not a whole lot of bodybuilders, and the sport is not that big anyway, you know, because if you look at our crowds and look at some of the other sports crowds, I was way down on the list, way down. So it's all about genetics, about genetics.
And just to finish off with the steroids, when it came to doing it, you always had, I think, prescriptions and doctors and blood tests. Maybe you can speak on that. And also, do you worry these days that there's too many people getting stuff illegally, not knowing what they're doing, you know, doing 10 times the amount because it thinks they're going to get the 10 times the results? And even you got kids in high school doing this. What are your thoughts on steroids in general, you know, for the public and other people?
Yeah, you know, I've always had doctors doing it, giving me the right advice and right way of doing things. And I've always been completely monitored, you know, as far as having checkups and all that kind of stuff. Everything has always worked out really good for me. And I tell people, if you do it the right way, you're gonna always be safe. It's just when you're not doing the right way, like I said, you got all these people getting stuff, that they don't know what it is. It's bought on the black market. It's not coming straight from a pharmacy. So there's gonna always be a potential for some kind of accident or whatever, something going wrong or going bad. So I've always tried to tell people, if you do it the right way and you do it the safe way, you can always do it. It can always be a good thing for you.
Now, the early days were kind of the testosterone days, and then you got into the growth hormone days. And then now, in the future, we might even have this genetic engineering days. I mean, and did that also map the sport and the body types as well?
I think they've already tried that genetic engineering thing, with the implants and stuff. I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay, you're not worried about that.
Yeah, because there's always going to be a set standard, and it's never gonna go the other way.
Okay.
So, because they pretty much, if you were caught with implants back in the day, they would always automatically just downgrade you.